The Whispering Walls by Storyloom. When the letter arrived, Clara almost dismissed it as a scam. An old Victorian mansion on the outskirts of town, left to her by an uncle she didn't even know existed. It sounded more like the setup for a bad horror movie than reality. Yet, curiosity won out, and soon Clara found herself standing before the imposing structure, its tall, crooked silhouette cutting through the morning mist. The house was as eerie as it was beautiful. Its windows dark, its shutters hanging askew like broken wings. Clara clutched the brass key tightly as she stepped onto the creaking porch. Pushing open the door, she was greeted by a musty scent, a blend of old wood, forgotten memories, and something she couldn't quite place. Inside, the house was frozen in time. Chandeliers hung delicately above cracked floors. Faded wallpaper peeled away to reveal the skeleton of the walls beneath. Family portraits lined the corridor, their eyes seeming to follow her every step. Clara tried to shake off the unease. It's just a house, nothing more. Yet, as she unpacked her bags in the dusty living room, a faint sound tickled her ears. At first, she thought it was the wind, soft and low. But then she heard it again, a whisper. Clara. Her name was faint and fleeting, like a breath lost in the wind. She froze, her pulse quickening. "Hello?" she called, her voice echoing back from the hollow walls. Silence answered her, but the sensation lingered. Her name was faint and fleeting, but she froze, her bulk pulsing with affectation. It was hail from off-worlds. Silence answered her, but the sensation lingered. The lady clipped her hands to her lips. "Good day." That night, Clara's dreams were restless. Shadows danced behind her closed eyelids, and the whisper returned, more persistent this time. She woke to the sound of faint laughter, a child's giggle, impossibly clear in the stillness of the house. Driven by both fear and curiosity, she followed the sound up the grand staircase. At the end of the hallway stood a door she hadn't noticed before, its surface scratched and battered, the doorknob cold to the touch. She tried to turn it, but the door wouldn't budge. The laughter stopped, replaced by a deep, unsettling quiet. In the dim light, Clara noticed a faded photograph hanging nearby. She reached for it, brushing away layers of dust. It showed a man, tall and stern, standing beside a young girl with strikingly familiar features. Clara gasped. The girl could have been her. Same wide eyes, same unruly curls. Her heart raced as questions swirled in her mind. Who was this man? What was her connection to him? And why had he left this house to her? The next day, Clara searched the house for answers. She sifted through boxes of old letters, diaries, and photographs, but found nothing to explain the whispers or the strange pull she felt toward the locked attic door. As night fell, the whispers returned, louder and more insistent. "Clara, save us." Save them? From what? Or from who? Determined to uncover the truth, Clara armed herself with a crowbar and pried the attic door open. Dust swirled in the air as she stepped inside, coughing and squinting through the gloom. The room was untouched, as if its occupants had left in a hurry. A small bed stood in a corner, and toys scattered on the floor. On the nightstand lay an old diary, its leather cover cracked with age. Clara opened it with trembling hands, her breath catching as she read the first entry. They never wanted her to know, but she must. She's the last of us, the last to protect this house and its secrets. The words blurred as tears filled Clara's eyes. The whispers grew softer now, less desperate, as if the house itself was calming in her presence. She spent hours poring over the diary, piecing together a story of loss, betrayal, and resilience. Her uncle, it seemed, had been the caretaker of the house, shielding its history from those who sought to destroy it. The whispers were the echoes of those who had lived and died within its walls, their voices lingering as a plea for preservation. Clara felt a strange warmth wash over her. For the first time, she didn't feel alone. The next morning, sunlight streamed through the windows as Clara threw them open, letting the stale air escape. The house felt lighter, almost alive. She knew her life would never be the same, but she didn't mind. This house wasn't just a relic of the past. It was a chance to create a future, one story at a time. As Clara walked through the front door, she paused and looked back, smiling